Okay, so should be working everything. So hello everybody. Welcome for Children of Theseus, Part 2. Star Trek Adventures, Star Trek Pathos, yes. All those titles apply here. So with me I have very special guests who are here. So say hello, special guests.
Hello.
AKA the players.
Hello.
Bye. Sure.
Best greeting.
So, would you like to introduce your characters?
Okay. Yes, I'll also introduce myself actually. I'm CangoFango, and yes, the character I play is the communications officer on the user's Pathos by the name of Doviah Drenlich Twossock, who is a human.
I am Dodrebur, or Dodd, and I play Captain Shiun of the USS Pathos, who is a Vulcan.
I am Sir Rogue, or Rogue, call it, and I play Nero Jeff as the pilot.
Yes. Indeed.
Yay!
Right.
We also had another player character. However, that player character has not been introduced in a while because they're currently an NPC. So, hello chat, hello VGR, Roomspath, CangoFango, hello.
And Shoutouts.
You're all lovely shades of red and orange and
Yeah,
yellow.
autumn, like autumn leaves. Or fall leaves.
So, who would like to do the recap of what happened last time?
Well, I mean, for once, I took less than a page of notes, so I'd say that's probably a pretty easy.
Yeah, but it's probably just because I was a bit distracted by chat last time.
Partially that.
So
I think
go on.
I think part of it's also there was not as much like technical stuff to take notes on. Like we weren't getting like a bunch of different details or researching things, and so we just had like all this basic knowledge and we're running through events. So
Okay.
Right.
at least one guy
At least one guy.
pulled out a phaser.
Yes. So, you're responding to the USS Theseus distress call, who you're supposed to escort anyway, but you received a distress call, so you rendezvous with them a bit sooner, only to find that they were not responding to hails. They were in a destabilized warp field that they were trying to generate but were failing because the warp coils seem to be worn out. Transporters don't work, lots of life signs on board, so you decided to have a look and see what's going on in there by shuttle. You were expertly flown over by Nero, discovered that the shuttle bay door, not the big exterior ones, but the interior one leading into the corridor, was seemingly plastered over with wallpaper. And you began exploring a little bit when you discovered two children who were playing with a ball, and you asked them a few questions before they ran away to their mother, who you also thought you had a brief conversation with her. When the turbo lift arrived, doors opened, and someone fired a phaser out of said turbo lift, which I think that is where we last left off, yes? Or did I miss anything important?
Yeah, something about working for the Ophies, that we don't know what that means. Something about the old knowledge, that we don't really know what that means.
Yep.
And phasers.
Do we know what that means?
I think we know what phasers mean.
Ah, good. I wasn't sure. So, let's see. I need to roll for the phaser attack. Nope. Okay,
Hey.
that's interesting first roll. That is...
They're really good at this.
Yes, they are. So, tablet doors opened. Someone fires a phaser out. The phaser seems to strike the floor, kind of in your area, but doesn't really do any damage to anybody. So, let's see. So that was their turn. Now, is there anything any of you players would like to do?
So who's here? Who's in the scene again? It's the captain,
It's the captain, Nero,
Gwissem, and security officers.
Zaveri,
Severo.
Right.
engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Nero went back to the Pathos, right?
No,
Nero's
So
here.
Nero's where's
I'm
Nero?
here still.
right here.
Okay, so Nero's here as well. Okay.
Reminds me
Yeah,
of,
an NPC
that reminds me of
character
that
was
Spaceballs scene where they're watching the film and saying, "Oh, when will then be? Ooh, then was now. Ooh, just when we passed it. Oh, when? Oh, just now." Anyway, never mind. So, does anyone want to take an action?
I think. Hold on, let me look at something. I should have looked at this earlier,
I would look
but I forgot.
into the turbo lift to see who fired the phaser.
It looks like a man wearing what can only be described as civilian clothes.
Right.
But clearly wielding a Starfleet phaser, a Mark II phaser.
So who did he actually aim at?
Judging by where the phaser beam went, it is undeterminable.
I just shout at Starfleet.
You shout Starfleet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to something else on top of that, but I'm not allowed to.
So, you...
Hold
I
your
would
fire.
like.
Sure. Go ahead.
What do you want to say, Dot?
I would like to say, Captain Shiun of the USS Pathos, drop your weapon now, or we will return fire. Raising phaser.
Okay. So, you say that as Nero says Starfleet. Hold on, I need to make a quick note. First note of the session. Okay. Right. By the way, we've got 5 momentum still.
Great.
So... you say that there's a little tense moment where you've got phasers locked on each other. The 2 children, whose names are Sarah and Jonathan, seem to be completely not scared by any of this. In fact, they pretty much start playing ball again. Right in the middle of this.
On the bridge.
Yeah, let's just. We're not on the
No,
bridge.
no.
We're in a hallway.
Wait, where?
You're in the hallway at the base of where the neck meets the
Right.
fused pod on the thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
For some reason, I imagined this on the bridge. Okay, that's fine.
So,
Yeah. No
right.
reason for kids to be concerned about phaser fire nearby. Everything's fine.
Sure.
so the man in the turbo lift seems to be sweating a little bit. Says, "Tell them to get out of the way." Nobody seems to respond in any way whatsoever.
Who is he talking to?
Just seems to shout into the corridor. Says, "Go on, get them out of the way. You can't use them as a shield."
I am unsure of what you're referring to, sir.
The Starfleet.
You have 10 seconds to lower your weapon.
Time passes, and he doesn't lower his weapon.
All right. Opening fire.
Okay, go ahead. So this is, of course, this is a... Well, since this is very close, he's not moving, I would say difficulty 1, security plus control.
Right.
And since you're using phaser, it's not opposed either.
Okie doke. I'd like to take one die just to try and settle this quickly.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh,
If
this
you want
went
to, we
from
have
0
the
to
five.
100 quickly.
Well, I have got 5 momentum, so
Yeah.
that's fine. And 4.
Ah, congratulations.
Good thing you bought that.
Right. Unfortunately, you can't generate momentum on
Ah.
attack rolls, but
Yes, that's fine.
you succeed. Would you like to roll damage, please?
Yes, I will roll damage now. Dear goodness.
Okay.
Ooh. Are you sure you have that on stun, Captain?
Well,
Yeah, it's on stun, of course.
Good.
Okay. So it's 1, 2,
Yeah,
3, 4,
it
5,
definitely
6,
went
7,
from 0
8.
to 100 very quickly.
All right. So you
Okay.
fire with great precision. Blue beam of energy, and strike him as he falls down unconscious, as he's now stunned.
Captain,
The-
did we really have to go from 0 to 100 very quickly?
Situation had already escalated due to his actions.
Okay. The woman who you have been informed is Sarah and Jonathan's mother shouts out and says, "What have you done? They'll think we've broken the law."
Who will think that?
The offies, of course.
Who
Please, we have to...
are the offies, though? Sorry, but I believe this would help.
She goes down, kneels down to, and speaks with her children. She says, "Please, you must both go up there. You must tell them that this was an accident. All right?" They both nod, as though this were part of some sort of game, and they go into the turbo lift. Does anyone want to stop them in any way or not?
I say, 1 minute. What exactly is going on here? Just turn to her. I don't try to stop them, but just
Okay. So they go off into the turbo lift. One of them kind of reaches up, grabs onto the handle, and asks for deck 3. Doors close, and they head up with the unconscious body of whoever that other guy was in there still. Yeah, VGR, several machine gun shots would not be considered an accident, which is lucky because there are no machine guns in this scene. So, right, as the doors close, she turns back over to you, says, I think you should speak with our leader.
Where can we
I
find
think
this
so as
leader?
well.
Yes, Captain. One question, where can we find this leader?
Go to the farming pod. You should be there. I can't lead you there myself. I have to keep an eye on this position.
We have a rough idea of where things are in here.
Probably one of those large cylinders that's connected to the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm. And also, out of character, so the insides of this just look like a Constitution class, right?
The set design, basically, yes.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I request directions to the farming pod.
You get directions to the farming pod. Congratulations. You receive 12 XP.
And an achievement.
All right. To the farming pod.
Okay, we're off to see the wizard. The wonderful Wizard of Oz.
So we are actually on the right ship that we're supposed to take to a certain place, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. Because this is confusing. Very confusing.
It is strange.
Okay. So, you eventually manage to find your way to the farming pod. You come across quite a few other people just walking around. You get some strange looks from some of them. Do you want to interact with any of them or not?
Children or otherwise?
There are some children as well, yes.
I would like to speak with an adult and say, we were sent to speak with your leader. Where might we find them?
You pretty much get redirected to the farming pod.
Okay. Sure.
Right.
We just go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they're all wearing civilian clothes. No.
Yes.
Okay, sure. That's fine.
Okay. So, eventually, you pass through the big, what looks like essentially hangar bay door that's kind of permanently open that connects where the pods are coupled together, basically. Mm-hmm. And you can see in the cylinder, basically, farming stuff. It's about It's about 150 meters or so long, maybe 50 or so meters wide, and you can tell that there are different levels of agriculture that is happening in this pod. Upon getting some more directions, you find an area where it looks like tents have been set up, and there are what look like tables full of fruit and bowls of grain and things like that. And pretty sure that the individual you're looking for is in there.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
We go there.
Okay.
Is there any notable reaction to us waltzing in?
Nobody seems to care much.
Okay. Right.
Okay. Just made a little note. Note, not node. Node. So, you can see the inside of this big tent has been set up quite a fancy way, and there is a little what looks like a wooden platform with a chair on top of it, where you can see a man kind of half slouched in there wearing a cloak, who he's clearly some sort of bigwig, speaking metaphorically. He's not actually wearing a wig, probably, although if you want to check, you can.
No.
So,
No. Don't need to know his hair status.
Can we scan him for
Wig?
wigs. Earwigs, yes. Scan him for the Wrath of Khan earwig things.
No, I meant for weapon. Like weapon. If he's got a weapon or something.
Oh, it's clear that he's got a Type 2 phaser on his belt.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I would say he's armed, Captain.
Noted.
Mm-hmm.
Approach.
Okay, you approach. From over to the sides, there are two essentially bodyguards step out, and they have got Type 1 phasers on their belts and what look like big knives. The man who's sitting in the chair, raise a hand, says, "You're dressed nicely. Who are you?"
I am Captain Shiun of the USS Pathos. Shall I assume you are the leader of this group?
Yes. Kind of leans forward, says, You said you are from the Pathos.
Yes, that is correct.
Can you tell me where this is?
It is not far from the ship.
Is it out there?
Close range.
Let
Out
me
there?
beyond the walls.
Yes. It is most certainly beyond the walls.
He just starts laughing. And almost literally falls out of his chair, tumbling on the floor laughing. Almost, not quite, but almost. He says, "You are amusing, I will give you that. would you like to join me for some food? And you can tell me where you really come from.
There is certainly much to be discussed. So, yes, we shall join you.
Okay. So you each get a chair, of course, lower than his, and little platter of vegetables, fruit, and yes, you can begin to eat if you so wish. I need to know which one of you is going to be eating.
Huh. The same sort of situation like in the first episode?
Yep. And you know that turned out well.
It was also the same character.
Well, actually, that did turn out well.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So what? Is it also like different colors of fruit, like purple celery or something, or is it?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay, sure. Can I scan that? Can I scan the food before I eat
If you
it?
want to, yes.
I try to scan the
Yeah,
food.
hell
before I
no.
eat it.
Ain't touching anything.
If you want to scan it, give me a
Touchy.
Science plus reason?
science plus reason. Just tell me how many successes you get.
Okay, sure. That is 2.
Ooh.
Okay. The food seems perfectly fine.
Great.
Twitch.
I might, just out of hospitality, just be polite, I might eat some things.
Okay.
Shiun will eat lightly,
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to eat the entire
Or so,
platter.
like,
Nothing.
picking while
Nothing.
talking. Sort of
Nothing.
thing.
Just twitching in the corner.
Oh, are you streaming as well, Rogue?
No. I don't scream.
Okay.
You're
so,
just vlogging the entire trip.
right.
Just recording it.
As you've settled in a little bit, some of you eating, some of you not.
Mhm.
But by the way, Zaveru is also eating. Seems quite impressed with what is being offered. And yes, the leader guy, whatever his name is, who knows, says, "Now, you've come from the saucer, yes? If we're all being honest here."
We have come from a saucer. Probably not the one you're referring to.
I see. Well, what is the purpose of this visit?
We are on a mission to escort the ship to its final destination. However, we received a distress call and are here to investigate.
It's not often then that one meets individuals who take bedtime stories as seriously as you do. But really, I think we could use some more strong individuals to help with the farms.
May I ask your name?
Nathan Canna. But like I said, we are most welcome. Anyone who wishes to leave the rule of the office is more than welcome here, as long as they're not spies.
Wait.
How long have you been on this ship?
since the day I was born.
And how old are you?
I've celebrated 26 birthdays.
And were your parents also born on the ship?
Where should they have been born other than this ship?
There were,
What do you
of course, the individuals who originally boarded this ship from their home planet.
Your words confuse me.
Your words confuse me.
Well, then
Yeah,
we've
what do you
got
mean by
something in
me?
common.
1, what do you mean by the saucer? And 2, what do you mean by opposites?
You really have no idea, do you? Are they... Do you
Yes.
feel... He looks over to his buddy as saying, do you feel like I'm being taken for a fool here? And, I'm going to need you to roll a command plus
Presence.
presence check, which I will allow one of
Cool.
you to assist against his command plus presence.
Right? That's
Mine-
a 17.
Combined, mine's 10.
Wow.
And I have a focus and persuasion.
Sure.
Complication range?
And I would like to
Complication-
buy 1 die.
Sure.
Okay. Complication range is going to be 2.
Ooh. 2.
Because if he doesn't believe us, this is going to be really annoying.
Yeah, it is. Probably. Maybe.
So, do you want to roll?
Right.
Also, who wants to
Here we
assist?
go.
Whose combined
I
scores
don't think
the
it matters
highest?
between.
So mine's 10.
I
So
don't-
who is yours higher than 10? Your command plus presence?
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What do we do as I was talking, so. Assist him.
Okay, then I will.
We'll do the same. It doesn't matter which
Okay,
which one
I
it
might
was.
as well assist then. That is
You assist after I roll.
Mhm.
sure. Ooh.
2.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
And the complication range did matter for that.
Mm-hmm.
That is okay. Command plus presence. 2. No focus. That's fine. No.
Ooh, okay.
wow.
Let's see.
Oh no.
I like Eliza's use of language. It's very to the point.
Yes. Hello, Willis 1961. Unstable
Hello.
warp bubble causing time to pass much faster inside so that several generations have passed inside whereas outside. That could pose
Certainly seems so.
problems for the Pathos crew that are now inside if they stay too long. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yes, that
Is that right? Time to
Ah.
age her, like.
yes.
Well, it looks like
we
you
may have
got
rescued
your...
our own. What?
It looks like you got your roll there.
Oh.
2
damn.
20s. 2 rolls, 2 20s.
Oh.
Okay.
This is my reaction right now. Right, or was my reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
That
How-
wasn't.
Whoa, wait.
That was my reaction when we the roll, and that's my reaction now.
Yeah. It would be the other way around, Tango.
If the time passes in this ship
Yeah.
much faster.
We'll
If it passes while we're in this ship
Basically-
much faster than
we can spend a very long time in here before it seems like much time at all has passed out there.
If
Mhm.
that
If
is correct.
this is how it works.
Alright.
Okay.
If the
Sure.
situation
So-
is different from what we have assumed, then who the hell knows?
I might know someone. So... Dun
Sure.
dun dun! Yes, indeed. So... he after kind of trying to gauge whether you're trying to take him for a fool, kind of looks you in the eye, and then says, I think they genuinely are taking what they're saying seriously. One of the bodyguards says, well, their clothes are very clean. Says, yes, I've noticed. Perhaps you should speak with the bat. Yes, perhaps you should.
Who is the bat?
The old bat. You don't know the old bat? Then how do you know about the old stories?
We've not been on this ship for too long.
They're not old stories for us. We were on another ship literally half hour ago.
Yes, you said. Right. Prepare 2 diplomats. We have someone who needs to visit the old bat. And then one of the bodyguards kind of leaves. Says, it's been fun, Miss Shiun and friends. If you ever needed something to occupy your time with and you don't fancy farming, I believe I might have an opening for storyteller soon. If you would like to apply, I do find your stories quite interesting. Seem to have a very active imagination.
I think Shiun just leaves.
Okay. Does anyone follow her, or does she just leave on her own?
Yeah. No, I'll follow.
I give a shrug to him, a slight shrug, and I leave.
Okay, so Zaveru kind of still holding what looks like a dragon fruit, and he turns over, sort of, we're good, and he kind of leaves as well. The old bat, do they have a crazy cat lady on board? Maybe, who knows? You didn't see any of those in the crew manifest, but who knows?
Yeah, I think the crew manifest is yeah, don't go by the crew manifest. So that tells me the crew manifest is wrong.
Alright, so guess we'll get directions to the bat from someone. Not the leader, because I'm done talking with him.
Assumedly,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Well,
Right, so you're outside. There are 2 children who walk up to you. There's an adult there as well. Says, your envoy. They'll make sure you're not attacked on the way up.
huh?
Very
And
well.
you can see that they're both wearing kind of cloaks that look like they've been they have little gemstones sewn into them. And they start leading you back the way that you came originally. So, do you have any questions, or do you just want to follow them?
So the pod we're in now, is that the last pod in all of them? The last? Is it the rearmost pod?
It looks like it's the middle one.
Okay. So we're now going back to where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And we don't know what the other pods are.
Well, the first one has seemingly been converted to a star drive section, which happened when the ship went in through refits and things to expand its range. And you don't know what's in the third one.
Okay.
You could ask Nathan Canner if you wanted to.
No, thank you.
So, do you want to follow these? Do you want to follow these children, or what do you want to do?
I'd like to ask them a question.
Go ahead.
Do the offies have alternate protocols for all children, or just some?
The one who looks like he's a little bit older says, "The Prime Directive applies to all children."
What is the exact wording of your Prime Directive?
Neither the office or the collies can attack children or use them as hostages or then the other one chimes in and says, or use them as protection.
Noted.
One of them asks, "What's your name?"
Captain Shiun.
Okay. One of them
And yours?
One of them says that his name is Aura, so that's Oura, and the other one is called Carter.
What's that name exactly?
Oura
That I got.
and Carter.
The other one is Carter, so Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right. So, AW2, does anyone know what that stands for? What VGR just wrote? Similar to what I've seen in AW2. I don't know what that means. Sorry. All right.
I could try guessing random things AW could stand for, but they'd probably be wrong.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, right, Afghanistan War. Oh, I see.
Okay.
Anyway, so they lead you back to the turbo lift. Looks like the mother of Sarah and Jonathan is still there, keeping watch.
Right.
And they allow you past. She does kind of eye you as you are past. But you get to the turbo lift. Turbo lift takes you up quite a ways. Doors open. You can see that there are several men there, one woman, who each have phasers trained on the turbolift doors as they open. And one of the children raises his hand and identifies as a diplomatic envoy. They've come to see the bat, and they allow you past. However, One of them wants to confiscate your firearms. Are you going to allow that?
I turn to the captain to wait what she does.
Where will they be kept, and for how long?
We'll keep them safe right here until you come back.
Very well.
Sure.
All right.
And I give them as well.
Nero, do you give up your phaser as well?
Suppose so.
All right. Zaveru, they also have a look through his toolbox that he's got, because if you remember, he said that he brought engineering stuff, engineering tools and parts. But since they can't identify anything that looks like a weapon, they let him keep that. You are then escorted through some corridors to what looks like someone's quarters. And you can see that the door seems to have been painted with some red paint, some patterns on there. Probably just ornamental. It doesn't look like any sort of writing or anything like that. And you are informed that you are at the home of the bat. Pictures of cats. Who knows? Who knows?
Yay, crazy cat lady.
All right. Do we see an individual in this room?
Well, you'd have to open the doors first. Okay.
I would do so.
Till you enter, okay. Open the doors. It's quite dimly lit in here. The windows to the outside have been painted over. And you can see that it looks like there is a woman sitting on a bed, and she seems to have it's difficult to see her face because it's so dim, but she seems to have quite long flowing hair. She says, "Come in."
I do so.
Okay.
The others would follow
You do
behind
so.
the captain.
Okay, you all come in, except for the two children. They stay outside. Is that you, Rapunzel? Who knows? So what do you want to do?
Dunno. I don't know.
You're the bat. Or old bat, or whatever.
Says, there's a moment of silence, and he says, "Yes, I am. Nobody bothers with my name anyway. Not anymore. Why have you come? Please sit down. It hurts my neck to look up at you all the time."
I think we should best introduce ourselves first.
Shiun will sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah. And before we
I
start
am-
on-
I am Captain Shiun of the USS Pathos, and I do care what your name is.
Okay.
as do I.
Says, of the Pathos, you say?
Yes.
Come a bit closer. Please. Do you come closer?
Yes.
Okay. And she slaps you across the face. She says, what has taken you so long? Do you know how long we've waited? Why didn't you respond to our calls? What happened?
We did receive a distress call, and we responded in... How long did it take? A few hours?
It took 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We arrived at your ship 30 minutes after receiving it.
30 minutes? 30 minutes? This cannot be. No. It's finally happened, what they all say. I'm hallucinating this. No, it cannot be. I refuse to believe that you're real.
Your ship is contained in an unstable warp field.
Oh,
We
that
could
can't be the
not
case.
transport in or out of it.
No, we can't, no. If the warp fields failed, then we'd be swallowed up immediately. It can't be true, can't be true.
There's no... the windows are what at the moment?
Painted over.
What would swallow you?
The Hades Gate. Tell me, who are your friends?
My crew. Gestures to you all to introduce yourselves.
I am a science officer, Yarlik Wissam.
Near the is it helm? Is it pilot?
There are different terms.
As I'm doing that, I'm slightly scratching the windows to paint so I get the paint off.
Okay.
Is it paint from the inside, from the outside?
That would be quite something was painted from the outside. Just get one of those, you know when they're cleaning the windows of skyscrapers or tall buildings, they've got those little things outside that they pull up and down on the outside. Just use one of those to get at the windows. So, just scratch away at it. You're gonna need like maybe a minute or so to clear away a little bit.
It's fine. I'm like,
Okay. Yep, sure.
Sure.
We did hear something about Hades in the distress call, but it was cutting out before it ended completely. We were uncertain what you were referring to.
If you are really here, if you're real, you certainly feel real, of shaking her hand a little bit. Seemingly in her slapping you, she hurt her hand a little bit more than she probably hurt you. Says, then wait, you said you could not transport on board?
Yes. We attempted to transport a probe as a test since there were no response to our hailing.
Then how did you come here? How did you...
We used a shuttle.
Right, yes.
Traveling physically through the field
Yes.
was safe.
At this point, you kind of manage to scratch away about a 2 square inch area of paint.
Is it enough so you can see through?
Yes, you can
And
see
is-
starlight coming in, and you can see the Pathos in the distance.
Ah, that's great.
But there's no that like line, like, you know, a part of the bubble what that they're stuck in. Is it? You see?
The warp field, the destabilized warp field, is completely invisible.
Oh, I tell her to look out the window.
Luke goes over, Luke says, "No, what have you done? Wait." She goes over, looks out, and... The stars! I never thought I would see them again. You've actually come. I don't know how many times How did you destroy the Hades Gate?
Technically, I... Right, who's the engineer we got with us?
You've
Zaveru.
got Zaveru.
Dodrebur, how do I explain this so she understands?
He says, well, that depends on what you want to explain.
That was still technically maybe kind of the warp field jug, you know, was technically they're stuck in the warp field. They feel the Hades is the warp field.
Could you describe for us the phenomenon you're referring to as the Hades Gate?
An energy ribbon that can travel at faster than light speeds, almost like a tear, a rift, like if you were to tear through a sheet of paper, but kind of have the shape of the tear in the... Get very bright. I don't remember anything technical, not since the computer banks have been wiped.
By who?
I don't know what you could possibly mean, Willis. I have no idea what you could possibly mean. No idea whatsoever. Yes. Oh, it's... We can talk about this later. We can talk about this later. It doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter. We have to... But wait, if you don't know what the Hades Gate was, It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened. All that matters is that you're here now. And you're real. You're real.
Yes.
Got her eyes locked on the Pathos.
We brought our chief engineer here to see if we could fix the problem of the warp field from inside the ship, or at least determine what's causing it.
Yes. Yes, you will... Well, what do you want me to do? I suppose I could...
We are uncertain of the ability for us to navigate this ship unopposed.
Right, I'm afraid I won't be much help. I can't walk very quickly.
Well, the kids will have to do that.
Might get some of the children to help you. They are able to access the ship freely.
Very well. I will attempt to contact the bridge, see if our communications will work. We were uncertain if those on this ship were simply not responding, as opposed to not receiving it. So, I attempt to contact the bridge.
Okay, so try to contact the bridge of the Pathos, and you get through. No issue. Doviah, you get the call?
Sure. So who's actually in charge at the moment on the bridge?
Westaker.
I say. So he's acting captain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
But they're contacting. Yes, the bridge. So you would respond if you want to.
Sure, I accept the call.
Sure. At the moment, it's only you who can speak with them.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
Yes, this is the Pathos.
We have encountered a very strange situation. I think this will need to be an open discussion.
I see. One moment. Sir?
Yes?
This is Shiun. Can I put it on screen?
It's about time. It's audio only, just a communicator.
Right.
Yes. Go on.
Right, patching it through.
Okay, put it on speakers
Yes.
on the bridge. So, good.
You were saying, Captain.
It seems that those on this ship have experienced a far greater period of time than we have in approaching it. Decades, at the very least.
I see.
Definitely a few generations anyway.
There seems to be a division, seemingly between the descendants of the colonists and the descendants of the officers, at least based on the terminology they use.
Do you need support over there? I can have a couple of shuttles over there in a few minutes.
We have not yet had a discussion with those who are in charge of the ship as a whole. Though we have spoken to one individual who seems to be the only one who remembers what happened, or knows what happened.
Right, well, it's good hearing from you. We were starting to get a little bit worried.
Yes. How long has it been, precisely?
About 3/4 of an hour.
Sounds about right for how long we've actually been here.
Yes.
Good. Then the time is not currently altered. We shall attempt to handle the warp field. However, we will remain in more frequent communication.
Aye, Captain. Should I have some security teams standing by just in case?
Yes.
Very well.
If we ever do not contact you within a 10-minute period of time, assume something has gone wrong.
Okay. Is there anything you would like him to research or look into the ship's databanks for?
I would give him the description we got of the Hades Gate.
Okay.
From what we do remember, what we do have
Yes.
knowledge of.
So, do you want to spend your last momentum on this roll? Let's see how much information there is about it.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, let's see if Mr. Westaker has any focuses that would help. Combat tactics, time phaser, ship tactical systems, infiltration, emergency procedures, composure. Nope. Okay. 3d20, assisted by the ship. Oh, I could have rolled on the sheet, I just remembered.
Fine.
But those are 3 successes.
Yay!
So, Kango, would you like to roll for the ship? This is going to be computers plus science.
Sure. So that's Yarly. Actually, no. That's a ship, of course. Computers plus science. That is okay. Sure. One moment. There we are. Uses Pathos. 0.
Okay, that's fine.
Eh.
3 successes. It's probably good. So, would you like to wait around here until the results of the search, or would you like to continue first and then he'll get back to you when he's got the information? It's only a matter of maybe like 7 minutes.
We'd wait.
Right?
Sure. It should be fine.
Alright, so
It's less likely we're going to get into a situation and lose contact or something if we chill here for 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, if the timescale were different, then several decades would have passed in the span of 30 minutes. So probably a little bit more than 10 times. But, okay, anyway. So, wait a few minutes. And you get the information. There is so Hades Gate has a few different entries in the ship's databanks. However, these only prepared to give you information on the science phenomenon, not the mythological place.
Yes, thank you.
So basically, it is a theorized tear between universes. So where basically there's a parallel universe where there is, through some unknown variables, theoretically there could be a tear where the two universes kind of touch, where they almost like a doorway between the two, like a gate.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Hades Gate because the laws of physics may not necessarily be the same in such a parallel universe. And so if there ever were to occur such a rift between the two, then anything that goes between them, all hell might break loose, basically. So it's never been studied before, never been encountered. It is only theoretically possible. And the description pretty much matches what you've found. So yeah, basically like a ribbon that can travel through space. It can be pulled through subspace disturbances. So it might theoretically be able to be projected along different points in space. That would make it look like it's traveling at faster than light speeds, because there isn't actually anything moving. It's just the place of where the rift currently occurs that is changing. It's not actually something physical that's moving that fast. It's just, okay, now it's here, now it's happening here, now it's happening here, which can be apparently influenced by subspace fields. Maybe, but that's all theoretical stuff.
Correct.
Doctor, is that you? Ah, who knows?
Timeless child.
Who knows? So,
Great. We're going out of time.
Consulting with our engineer and science officer who are with us, and with whoever's on the bridge at the time.
mm-hmm.
And we try and figure out how that would interact with a warp field, stable or otherwise.
Well, you can ask the computer to run some simulations, but it can take a long time, considering that this is only theoretical and there is no real, like no actual data that can be used, only theoretical values.
Well, there would be data if someone hadn't wiped the computer banks. Cool. We're gonna learn a lot from this.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So,
Well, since the time is stable and we were able to pass in and out without issue, the effects of the Hades Gate on this location have likely ended. Unless someone would disagree.
I believe so, Captain. time on the Pathos appears to be going at the same rate as Pierre now.
And referring to the bat, you mentioned that if the warp field had failed, then you would have been swallowed by the gate.
Yes. The ribbon was chasing us. We didn't have the power to get away from it. We just managed to keep our distance.
That tells me they didn't.
It's caused some people to go a little bit off the coffee table, if you know what I mean. It's like being chased by a monster for your entire life, knowing that if the engines fail, you just fall into that void. It's quite beautiful. But I still don't see how we could have exited warp without being swallowed up.
Well,
Is it possible that this gate was only open at your location for the time that your warp field actually lasted?
No. We detected some... I remember Father saying we detected some strange readings. We went over to investigate under impulse power, and we detected the Hades gate. It was moving. We were in its path. We tried to go to warp, but we were pulling it with us. We sent out a distress call, and then no one responded. But we managed to keep our distance. I can promise you that.
And
they didn't.
how long ago was this exactly, from your point of view?
We don't keep track anymore. I was young at the time.
I see.
Let's just say a very long time. By the look of it.
When was the last time you had a confirmed reading that the warp field was stable?
Last week there was an exchange. The dilithium crystals were replaced again, and everything seemed to be running fine.
It is true that you didn't seem to be having any power troubles when we scanned the ship. That all your systems appeared to be working fine, other than the unstable warp field.
They didn't get Old Bat's name and rank yet. No.
Also, did Severo even introduce himself? Actually,
No. He did not. He was too busy with his devices. Looks like he was taking some readings or some things.
So,
by the way, is the comms link still open to the ship? So do people on the ship
oh
still
yeah,
hear
it's
this?
been open the whole time.
yeah. If it's yeah.
Ahem.
If it wasn't set up,
So
do it then. So.
okay. So Joseph Westacre, first officer, is going to and say, Captain, we should start thinking about getting out of here soon. I don't like the way this feels.
Very well. We will investigate the warp field situation, and if it seems like it will take a long time to fix, or it's something we cannot handle, then we shall consider our options.
Okay. So.
Oh, also,
Mm-hmm.
I've remembered that we have not even finished our introductions yet. This is Maxwell Saveru.
Kind of looks up from his device, says, "Ah, yes, Chief Engineer, uses Pathos. Pleased to meet you." Looks back at his stuff.
Yes, so what is your name, actually? I turn to her.
Jane Willings. Now, you recognize from the crew manifest that Willings was the surname of the captain.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Great.
Right. Pleased to have met you.
Okay. So, what do you people want to do now?
I guess get a child escort to engineering. Or wherever Zavera needs to go to look into this.
Okay. How old was she in the crew manifest? Good question.
Did we check?
I mean, you could have checked. Do you want to know? I wouldn't.
Yeah, if we can just know.
She was 6.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's probably like, yeah.
All right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So you said
damn.
you want to. Okay. So you wanna ask the children if they can escort you there. Sure. Okay.
Yep.
So you go back out of the room and leave
Yes.
Jane staring out the window at the stars.
And at the Pathos?
Yep.
Yeah. Probably.
Okay. So You exit the room. They're both still standing there. They were standing opposite the door, either side. One of them turns to you and says, "Have you finished?"
We believe we have the information, all the information we can from the bat. However, there are more answers we need, which we can only find by investigating main engineering.
One of the two children says, "Did you tell your bedtime story?"
We are not here to tell bedtime stories.
We exchanged several interesting stories.
Quite right.
Okay. So, do you have a request of them?
Yes. Would you be willing to escort us to engineering? We're not certain how we'll be received without company.
The engine room. We can't go there. That's off limits. We can't go there. Only adults can go there.
Could I quickly turn to the captain?
Mm-hmm. If you want to. I'm not going to stop you.
Sure. As a captain, I believe it might be best that we'd have a word with Mr. Canner first.
I'm not certain Mr. Canner has any authority in this situation.
All right.
I don't believe his influence stretches outside of the colony area.
That may be so.
The thing is that if this was a normal type of this ship, then yes, the warp core, the engineering section would be in the saucer section. However, the first cylinder that's kind of been permanently attached to the base of the neck, which has the shuttle bay built in, that's also got main engineering in it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. So
Good to know.
maybe Canner's influence does stretch that far. Who knows?
Well, anyway, yes, so,
Damn it.
would you please take us to there? We don't need to go in that stuff. Just take us to there. We'll be fine.
Okay.
One moment. One moment.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh.
You
I would like to go back inside.
You're not out on the outside of the spaceship. Unless I missed something. Okay, sure, go ahead.
So back into the room. Okay.
Shiun.
Goodness. Miss Willings, if we are found in engineering, what do you think the response would be?
If they... You're Starfleet, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think they'd believe you. They probably think you're Offie's spies.
What's with this spy stuff?
Well, they're trying to take the bridge and we're trying to take engineering because they they split the command codes. You have to have access to both. I don't remember. It's been a long time.
I see. Huh.
And I don't suppose there's anything you can do to help convince them that we're Starfleet.
I'm afraid, my dear, that my word, my reputation is somewhat tainted. You see, I never gave up believing that there was a ship we're supposed to meet, but most of the others have. I don't think I would be of any help to you, unfortunately.
Great.
Hmm.
I see. Very well then. We
Right.
appreciate your assistance.
Indeed. Thank you.
Okay. And you leave her as she's scratching away more of the paint from the window.
Sure.
Right?
So, we're off to now.
I turn to the captain again. I say, Captain, perhaps if we showed the Pathos to Mr. Canner, maybe he would believe us then. It's better than nothing, I would say.
You seem hesitant about that, Dodd.
Hmm.
I'm not very excited about the conversation.
Like a double-edged sword. It could backfire too.
Yeah, I mean, having sonic paint scrapers that gently vibrate to make the paint fall off seems like a reasonable thing. Although you'd probably have to attach them to a window for the wall to vibrate. You've
Yeah.
got an engineering toolbox kit thing with him, so
Like a suction
if
cup
you
thing.
needed...
There are like those, are there like those, sonic cleaners? Where there's like a
Yeah.
thing full of water and it vibrates really fast and just cleans it off real...
Yeah, well,
Really easily.
especially since in Star Trek they are using sonic showers to clean themselves. So
Oh,
that's all
okay then.
different tech.
Yeah, I don't know the exact science of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there is any,
GR.
but that's fine. So, what would you like to do now, people?
Mm-hmm.
Send in the reinforcement. No. What do you want to do?
It's tempting to send the reinforcements in to take the ship. Honestly.
Right. Thanks. Anyway, I guess, yeah, we'll go and speak to Kenner again. See if we can get support from other people on the ship.
Or you could ask the children to take you as close as possible to main engineering and then go from there. If you prefer the idea of that.
Yeah, but then there's a good chance we'll get stuck there. And that would be a hassle.
Well, if you can turn off the destabilized warp field, you could probably just beam in or out at that point.
If being the operative term.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, if we went to engineering, we don't know what they'll do with us. So we could try to get close to it, but I don't know.
Yeah, that is another option, Willis. That is another option.
Yeah, as I said, Willis, take the ship by force.
And then
Mhm.
But that's out of character, not in character.
So, do you wanna? So, Dodge, do you wanna maybe ask the other characters you've got with you for their suggestions? If it doesn't have to mean you have to take any of them, but perhaps if you're a little
Yeah.
bit unsure.
what is Severo doing at the moment?
He isn't doing anything at this point.
Hmm.
Kind of just looking around.
And Nero?
Probably lean against the wall,
Mm-hmm.
just gonna go, well, you got, Captain, you got like not many choices. We either got 3 choices basically. You either talk to the guy, don't talk to the guy, try to engineering and push your luck, or death, or we take this ship by force. No matter what, you gotta fix the problem.
All right.
There's the
If you can think of a 4th option, then you might be able to go for that, if there is one, but that might be going a little bit too far.
Yeah. Thanks, Willis.
Ah.
Um,
wow.
All right. Let's.
Please don't just roll the dice.
No, I don't play like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we will go back to Canner, as much as I dislike it.
Yeah.
Would there be a location in that part of the ship where we could reveal the Pathos through the windows?
Yeah, on the edges of the pods, the cylinders with all the farming stuff in it, do have windows. They've been painted over, but you can
That's
reveal
fine, I get
that.
bored and scratch it over, it's fine.
I did not mean to post that. Sorry. Sorry. There we are.
Thanks.
That's my bad.
Thank you for the explanation as well.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
are you off
So,
to see
yeah,
Mr. Kenner?
I'll have to see Mr. Canner.
So,
Yeah, probably back in the farming.
the children accompany you back to the turbo lift. You get your phasers back. You
Great.
go down the turbo lift. You exit the turbo lift and get brought back to where those tents are. You can see that Mr. Kanna is already outside. Seems to be talking with a man, and he seems to be a little bit angry about something as you approach.
And the farm pod also has windows, right? on the sides.
Yeah, they've been.
Great.
I said like they've been painted
Okay.
over.
So all of the pods. Sure.
So you approach.
Yeah. The others follow the captain, I'm assuming. This entire time, pretty much.
He's talking. He's saying something like, "How could that happen? That was too close. You almost broke the law. No. Ration supply, 3 days." And the guy walks off, the other one. Then he turns over to you as you approach.
Mr. Canner, we have spoken with the bat, and we believe there's something we should show you.
I see. Do you have it with you?
We'll need to go to one of the windows.
At the thought that he seems a little bit nervous, but he doesn't say anything.
All right. We locate a window that's facing the right direction.
Okay.
I was thinking of that as well. Good.
You locate a direction that is facing the right window, yes.
Thanks.
You go there,
Mm-hmm.
and what do you do? It's underneath what looks like an apple tree.
Make sure the window's key.
Mr. Zver, do you have a tool that would accelerate this?
Sure, yes. Goes in, rummages around, starts putting a tool like with a suction cup onto the glass and to change some settings. So Mr. Kanna says, "What are you planning to do? What are you planning to do?"
We are planning to clear the paint.
No, you must not.
We have already tested this in the bat's room.
He seems really very, very nervous. Almost afraid, in a way. But you've attracted a small crowd. And it's almost like he doesn't
This is gonna be
want...
fun.
Almost like he doesn't want to look bad in front of them. So he allows you to continue. So... the vibrations go through the glass of transparent aluminum, and little shavings of paint start to peel off for if you're going to kind of wipe them away, revealing stars and in the distance the Pathos. They look, and one of the onlookers says, "Dots, the points of light. Where have they come?" And then kind of says, "It's a trick. The old bat has put them up to it."
It would be rather impressive for us to manipulate what the windows display without any access to computers or whatnot.
I don't care how you did it or what you want, but I do not appreciate you playing tricks.
You see that ship over there? That is the USS Pathos.
There can't be a ship out there because there is nothing out there. I knew it was
I-
a mistake to let you listen to the bad stories.
Captain, do you want to do a one shot just over the top? Be funny.
I comms call the bridge.
Okay. Doviah, you're on the line.
What is it, Captain?
Would you arrange... What would be a good visible thing that the Pathos could do?
You could
fire the phasers, Captain.
fire the phasers, could fire a photon torpedo, a probe, or you could use the vent the Buzzard collectors, which will basically create this orange gas cloud emanating from which is the front of the engines of
The tractor beam as well.
Well, tractor beam, but you could vent a bit of hydrogen from the Buzzard collectors.
Perhaps.
Would you activate our Buzzard collectors and send a probe on a direct path to our location?
Yes, that should be. Yes, that can be arranged. Anything else, Captain?
Not right now.
All right.
Okay.
Sure. I'll
So,
arrange for that to happen. I'm not sure.
yeah, sure. About a minute passes. You see there's this gas cloud forming, illuminated from within by the orange glow of the Buzzard collectors. And there's a little flash of light as a probe gets launched to your location. And you can see the probe's getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. As you can see the flare of the rocket motor at the back. Hold on, let me subtract a probe. You now have 243 probes remaining.
Oh no!
And the probe comes over and crashes against the hull where the window is. The window, being transparent aluminum, is unscathed. However, the probe seems to have smashed into a few thousand pieces. And as the gas clouds are growing behind. None of them seem to say anything. They seem to be, some of them in shock, and some others seem to be in awe, and nobody's really saying anything.
We done this. Anything else?
So Gwissom.
Your ship is currently contained in an unstable warp field, which prevented us from transporting directly onto your ship. However, if we can fix this warp field, then we can transport some of you and some of the others on this ship directly to the Pathos.
One of them says, "How would you achieve this?"
We need access to main engineering.
As soon as Canner hears that, he says, "Aha! I've got you. I was starting to doubt. But this is where we've been heading all along, isn't it? This is an offy ploy to gain access to engineering. You'll finally be able to win." No way.
Captain, can you just knock
This
this
is all
person
very
out and be
clever.
done with it?
This is all very clever, but I'm not stupid enough to fall for that.
Why don't you have people watching us the entire time? You can be literally right behind our shoulders.
This guy seems afraid.
I guess the cat is sad cat to go, just knock him out and be done with it.
That would be unproductive given our current company.
Yes.
Go
So,
around in circles, man.
do you want to try to roll for this? To see.
Yes.
Okay. So, this is going to be a completed roll, but the difficulty is going to be increased. So the base difficulty to even attempt to get anywhere. So the base difficulty is going to be 2. Complication range 1. It's going to be a command plus presence check. And it's going to be opposed by him. We have no momentum. What would you like to do?
Mm-hmm.
But threat.
Yes, we do have quite a lot of threat. Yes, you're right. I don't see why that would help you, but...
Well, if you can buy dice with threat, could help us. I think...
Oh,
that
yes, you're
could
right.
be
I can
warranted.
buy dice with threat. Thank you.
I think it could be warranted in this case, but at least one.
He does sound a bit like that, doesn't he,
He
Willis?
does.
Hmm.
Oh god, yeah. So I said
Yeah.
basically to knock him out
Basically
and
what
be
it
done with it,
sounds
make him
like.
look like a dumbass.
Yeah, exactly.
If we knock him out, we're in a crowd now. We'd have to fight our
Yeah.
way out of this area.
It would not be the best course of action, I would say.
Unfortunately, I don't really think any of my values apply here.
There could be an argument made for those who lead must serve. Like if you want to address him being the leader and him being responsible for these people and for them trusting him, and so he's got the responsibility to at least allow you to attempt this, because if there is even a chance of this being true, this could be salvation for all of these people. So if you wanted to go that way with how to try to convince him, then I would say that that value would apply.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So am I.
Appeal to his responsibilities as a leader.
Okay. So you've got
And I still have persuasion.
so you've got the critical success.
Got the critical
It's already
success.
2. So now you can roll.
And complication range is...
Is 1.
1, okay. All right.
Good luck. Ooh.
Congratulations.
Hey!
3.
5.
Okay,
Well,
5.
that's a... yeah.
So spending a bit of threat to buy some dice. So
Knew that
let's
was
see.
coming.
Let's have a look.
Ha! No.
Wow.
2 18s, a 15, and a 9.
Ah.
That's
So-
wonderful.
Yes.
Well,
So, but we're still over 20 threat, so that's still good.
Yeah,
So,
Sure.
fine.
you appeal to his being a leader and the responsibilities that come with that. And it looks like he's about to shout back at you. However, if takes a moment, looks around, sees the crowd, says, "Fine. If I can keep one of you as a hostage. As you say, I am responsible for these people. I have to have insurance.
So you're going hostage style.
Who should be hostage?
You, then you don't have to deal with anything anymore.
Well,
Sometimes I have to deal with it.
There are benefits and irritations that come with not being involved in it anymore.
I mean, we probably don't need a pilot at the moment on the ship.
That's...
Not like I'm not the second engineer here, thanks. But alright,
I don't
that's
know.
fine.
No.
My butt.
Well, to me it looks like we don't need
Yeah.
a science officer here at the moment.
Yeah, having a second
Yeah.
engineer does sound more valuable at the moment than a science officer.
Yeah.
All right. Yarly Gwissom has been nominated as hostage.
And since you're the captain, sure.
Yes, more specifically, he has been voluntold to be hostage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Sure. So they take
So
your...
I go over to
Yeah.
Canner.
Yep, and he indicates for your phaser to be taken.
Yeah, I give it to him.
And you're off to main
Brig.
engineering.
I'm off to.
No,
Where am I going
just
then?
you're being put to one
You're
of the
hanging
tents.
out.
one
The
of
rest
tents.
of us are to
sure.
engineering.
Yeah, voluntold. I like that, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's I can't take responsibility for that. I can't take credit for that. That was something I picked up from my old choir director.
Alright.
It is good, though. It is
Yeah.
a good bad.
It is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. At
So-
least I'm not going to the brig. That's good.
Yeah, well, yes. Well, you don't know if this ship even has one. Right. So, you get accompanied to main engineering. The doors, the big doors, have symbols painted on them. It looks like dilithium crystals that are painted in a very artistic way with some symbols around them. Two of the people who have accompanied you speak something which is clearly a form of access code, but they speak it in a almost song-like fashion. Doors open.
Interesting.
You can see main engineering. The warp core is there. Everything seems fine, except that you get a little bit of a smell, like a little incense, perhaps. And yes, so Severo is going to get to work. If you tell him what he so you want him to first of all ascertain what's going on with the warp field and then potentially shut it down, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So this first one is the gather information check. It is going to be a difficulty 0. So he's going to roll. I'm going to allow 1 assist.
Yeah.
Wait a
Suppose I
minute.
better.
I've got the character sheet. I don't need to actually type it in. What is this? Engineering plus insight.
Oh,
Okay,
handy.
that's selected. Eject warp core. 2. So, Rogue, would you like to assist as well?
Okay.
Engineering plus insight, or engineering plus reason
Yeah.
in this case.
1 is net.
1, yes.
Don't think. No. That's just.
Ha!
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Wow.
4. So we've jumped to 4 momentum.
Wow.
You
Handy.
Yes, you figure out that the computer is telling you that the ship is supposed to be at warp. It's trying to keep a stable warp field up, however, there are faults in the system, mainly that the warp coils seem to partially be burned out, but it's still trying to sustain a warp bubble. They're trying to move at low warp speeds, about warp 3. But of course they're not. Would you like to spend one of those momentum as obtain information on this? If you have a question. Maybe chat has a question, who knows?
What would would we be able to just make the computer stop telling it to do that?
Perhaps.
Huh.
Perhaps, he says.
Yeah. Yeah. That I don't like.
Unplugs extension cord from warp core. All done.
Yeah, that's about right.
So,
Sure.
do we know
Have
if there
I-
would be any adverse effects to just suddenly stopping this process? Or
Well, there shouldn't be.
alright. It's gonna be a little weird. I guess.
I take out my phaser and I shoot the no.
Yeah, we'll do the old good old
That would indeed be a little weird.
no, that's the Gibbs approach to technology. Shoot it.
So,
Ooh.
what do you
I
want to do?
would like to contact the Pathos.
You contact the Pathos.
Is it Doviah?
Yes, of course.
Yes, Captain?
We may be able to resolve this issue without too much trouble.
I see.
However, there are some concerns as to what will happen when we do. We're still not entirely sure what this Hades Gate did to the ship.
Right.
As a test of sorts. I would like to have the ship moved with a tractor beam to a location that we know is safe because we've been there.
I see. Alright. Alright.
If there is something unusual about the situation that we haven't taken into account, then our interactions with the ship may reveal something.
Sure. Yes, Captain.
Okay.
So
Great.
I arranged for that to happen.
So you navigate over Attempt to get a lock. Can't get a lock with a tractor beam.
Is the comms call still up?
Sure.
Yeah.
Captain, it appears I cannot get a lock on the ship.
And is that something that can be accounted for just by the warp field?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Captain.
Well then, I suppose we have no choice.
Okay, so before we do this, one more thing. So Lieutenant Commander J. Baylor on the Pathos says, Captain, I'm detecting some unusual subspace activity about 2 AUs away. And that is where we're going to end the session.
Ah,
We've gone 6 minutes over time.
the last session of the
Cliffhanger.
year. The last session of the year.
Damn it.
Right,
I
so-
rolled today with a 1. Love it.
Yay! We made it through the session.
Yay!
Yay!
My one and only roll was the session. I got a 1.
Well done. Willis has an interesting theory about.
Of course, the ribbon.
Of course,
is
yeah,
found
of course it will be. We'll literally have to like minutes to shoot.
So I do have one question.
Yes.
Does this ribbon thing also bear any similarity to the energy that came out of the Bashal ship before it exploded?
No. It's a very
Okay.
different thing.
Oh.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
That is good.
Congratulations for potentially drawing a similarity there, but no, in this case, it's not at all the same or similar. So, right. Does anyone have any feedback, or are we good?
I enjoyed it a lot. It was very
Yeah,
fun.
I think that went very well.
There were multiple instances though where
It could have gone worse. Yeah.
where Nero or Gwissom started speaking to some NPC, some guy, and then she would just completely cut them off. Like saying, no, that's a terrible thing to say, I'll say something better.
Well, I
yeah.
think with her background, I do feel like she'd be very heavily involved in any social negotiation type situation.
Yes.
You're forgetting
Yeah.
it though. Neil's not really a social person. He's more like the hit the books.
So, what do you all think of Canna?
Hmm.
Do you think he'll be causing any trouble in the future, or do you think all is going to be fine with
Well,
him?
it
It
depends on
depends
what's
on-
happening about 2 AUs away, I suppose.
Yeah.
Too posh. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the session's not... the session is kind of over, but the episode isn't, so...
The episode isn't. I think we've
Yeah.
got one more part.
Probably.
So, yes, I think that's everything.
Willis, toss him out the nearest airlock.
Ah. I don't know if
Why
we've got any
not?
space suits.
Yeah, with EV
aboard.
suit or without.
So.
Just
thank
say
you.
we're lucky it's not the other character.
And is there
Yes.
there a shuttle on the other side of the airlock or not? Yeah. Anyway.
So yes, thank you all very much for watching. This stream will be archived on YouTube. And we've got 1 day left. 1 day and 50 minutes for us here in the UK.
Yes.
Oh.
Because
Yeah.
it's 10 past 11. So one day and 50 minutes.
Plus 5 hours for me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you all for playing. I've had a lot of fun today.
Same.
CangoFango streams on Sundays.
Yes.
And yes, that's pretty much it. So
Sure.
bye everybody.
Thank you for the shout out. And yes, for the stream. Bye everyone.
Mhm. And the thing about watching Generations over
Hold
the
on,
weekend.
where's the
Ah.
room? That
Ah,
room
nice.
bar?
Wait,
Still
what?
there?
Room's bar, yeah.
Room's bar?
Room's
Yes.
bar posted a smiley
Smiley.
face.
There you go.
There we are.
Hey.
Up
Yes.
there, yes.
Also, watching Generations over the weekend is
Oh,
maybe
that's-
not such a bad plan at all. Even if
If
it's
I
just for
quote-
entertainment.
If I quote the message, it's not the actual smiley, and you can actually see that there's a nose typed as well.
Oh, yes, I
Congrats
see.
on your fancy fireworks setup. BGR.
Ah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
see. Alright, that. Mm-hmm.
I did think about doing something like that with maybe the movies, considering that even with the other game, Star Trek game that I run, most people haven't seen any Star Trek. So I was considering that, but it was just an idea. Anyway, bye people. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye everyone.